Everybody, Dr. Arbeitman here. One of the most common questions that I hear is, what should I do to help my bone density? So if you recently had a DEXA scan and your doctor told you that you have osteoporosis or osteopenia and you'd like us to review that test, you're welcome to bring that in. And I've been recommending these 3 supplements for years as a way to naturally support skeletal and bone health. So I'm going to go over those with you. Most people know that they should be taking some kind of calcium. Bone is made up of more than just calcium. It's made up of many minerals. Calcium should be supplemented up to about 600 milligrams per day, but no more than that. There are studies that show that supplementing more than 600 milligrams can lead calcium to deposit in arteries. And since most people are getting calcium from food sources, we want to keep the supplementation to 600 milligrams. So our supplement, Prime Bone Support, has about 600 milligrams of calcium, but it also has the minerals that bone are made up of, specifically microcrystalline hydroxyapatite. They get that from lamb bone and they put it into this supplement. So this is a really high quality supplement that's going to get you your calcium and the minerals that bone is made up of. Most people also know that vitamin D is essential, and vitamin K, for the absorption of D, for good skeletal and bone health. So 5,000 IUs of vitamin D typically will keep your vitamin D levels the same, and 10,000 per day will raise them if they're low. Vitamin D test is very easy to get. You should be getting that whenever you do your routine blood work so that you know where your D levels are. In the winter months, D levels tend to drop because one of the ways that our body produces D is exposure to sunlight, skin exposure to sunlight. So in the winter months, we tend to supplement a bit more than we do during the summer months. The third supplement, and it's really a sort of like a secret weapon, is called Ostera, and it's made by Metagenics. And it's made of a species of hops that's been shown in clinical and lab studies to help assist the breakdown and build-up process of bone. So what happens with bone, it's kind of like a bank account. If there's more withdrawals than deposits, then you start losing bone density. But if there's more deposits than withdrawals, you start gaining bone density. And bone has 2 layers. You have the outer layer, which is the cortex of the bone, and the inner layer, which is called trabeculae, which gives the bone its strength. So if you picture like a sponge, you can look through the sponge. Inside the bone, we need to strengthen that part. So the Ostera has been shown to strengthen the inner parts of the bone, and because lots of times some of the medications out there have been shown to only improve the outer cortex of the bone, which is why one of the risks associated with some of the medications is increased risk of fracture, because if you increase the outside of the bone without increasing the inside of the bone, it becomes like an eggshell. So these are 3 supplements that we've been recommending to help support bone health, and then that DEXA scan should be done at intervals to make sure that the bone density is staying the same or improving. And we also have to be working on 2 other things. We have to be doing resistance exercises, putting demand on the skeletal system, and then the skeletal system will respond by bringing calcium into the bone and strengthening it. And we can talk about specific exercises for you, but it is generalized, meaning that if you do, let's say, squats regularly and lunges regularly, that's going to help your skeletal system globally, not just in your legs. A weighted vest is another good way to put a weighted demand on the skeletal system and have it respond. But nobody ever broke a bone unless they fell. So the other piece of this is by doing resistance exercises, it helps generate more power so that if you were to hit the edge of a curb, you have the power to catch yourself and not fall. And then the other part of the equation is doing balance exercises. And I have people just simply start to hold a counter, lift up one leg, eyes open. Eventually you want to be able to hold yourself up on one leg for 30 seconds. And if you can do that, then you want to start to do that with your eyes closed. So those are the strategies that we put in play to naturally strengthen your skeletal system, strengthen your bones, and if you have specific questions, just ask one of the doctors.